As we began to dive deeper into the cold cases that happened along Route 29 over 20 years ago, we discovered something. That Route 29 isn't the only place with dark secrets.
Why So Cold is a podcast focusing on families in our area that their family members have gone missing, the case has gone cold, and we're giving them a platform to share their voice. And the idea came from our other podcast, Route 29 Stalker. A friend was listening to that and reached out to me and said, hey, I've got a friend whose family member went missing 19 years ago. Maybe you could help him tell his story. And that's kind of where it came from.
Yeah, and I listened to the podcast. It's really well done. The story is absolutely crazy. I just feel for that family so much. And we're actually going to get to talk to them a little bit later in the show. But Woody, talk about Route 29 Stalker and how that whole podcast has gone, because it's seen a lot of success recently.
Yes, actually, yes. It started off as, a side project. And my wife was telling me, say, you should really do a true crime podcast. And we kind of looked at what had happened in the area, and these cases happened in 1996, and so we started making phone calls, and that one it just picked up. And our main goal all along is to let these stories be heard, and the least that we could do is to add some production to it, get it out there to a new audience so people will talk. And true crime is huge right now, and it just kind of took off all of a sudden. So yeah, we've gotten a lot of feedback. We get emails and calls every day regarding it, and we even get tips on who people think the stalker is. So it's really gotten the story out there and people talking.
And now specifically about Why So Cold, why is it so important to share these stories? I mean, the story we're talking about today has been cold for 19 years, so why is it important to bring these stories back to life and talk about them again?
Well, they just disappear if we don't. And these families, they have lives, they have to move on, and they have to go to work, and what we can do is provide a platform to a new audience. And I mean, there are thousands of people listening to these every day now, talking about it with ideas of who did it, and just keeping their memory alive and keeping the word out there. So I feel it's important for families to have a voice and have a platform.
Yeah. And I know you have a few more episodes in the works, so can you tell us what's more for Why So Cold?
Yes, we've actually been contacted by quite a few families that want their story told. And that's important to us, to have the family be a part of it. And we have two more local cases that have come about that we're going to explore and let the families have a platform.
And now give us a little bit of a preview, because after the commercial break, like I said, we're going to be going to talk to Bobby and his sister, and also a policeman who's involved with the case. So set the stage a little bit. Who exactly are we going to be talking to? Okay,
so you will be talking to Bobby Walker, who is the gentleman that was in the episode of Why So Cold. His sister will also be there. And the police that are involved in the case. And we're actually going to be at the location where his father went missing. And if you listen to the podcast, you'll kind of get a background of this location and its importance.
Well, if you'd like to listen to Why So Cold, you can visit them on the Apple Podcast app or online at wattscreativestudios.com. Give Watts Creative Studios a call, 434-515-0373, if you have a story you'd like to share. And stay tuned after the commercial break. We'll be out on location at Food Lion.